You've spent so many years being able to develop an expertise in your field. What are the top three things you're going to be speaking about today on the stage?
I think it's really important for everybody to recognize that we're all struggling with our mental health these days.
Yes.
And to just recognize that there shouldn't be stigma around that it's something we can just recognize and be aware of. And also, though, that we all have a responsibility to take care of our own mental health as well as take care of each other's mental health. Um, that if we all work together collectively, we can solve this mental health crisis that we're experiencing. So I really want people to, the takeaways are to recognize what are the things that you can do to support each other and what should you look for in the people in your circle that are struggling so you know what to do when they need help.
There's so many different ways to be able to tackle the idea of mental health. I think that going through a pandemic, the way that we all did, we saw there was such a spike. Do you see that that spike has come down, that there is more of an acceptance in our workplaces and our schools?
Well, right now we're actually experiencing what's called an echo pandemic, which is it's the follow-up to the pandemic, and the echo pandemic is around mental health. So suicide rates are higher than they've been. People are talking about mental health more, which is a good thing,
Yes.
but people are also experiencing it more. And that's why I focus on the social influences. Like there are everyday things that we can do through our social connections, social support, our social capital, through social media, and through being involved in social inclusion projects that we can all do things that can improve our own mental health just by focusing on the everyday actions that we take.
You know, it's really interesting. When I was a kid, I felt that there was really a stigma around anybody that needed to see a therapist or a mental health professional. And nowadays, I feel as though I even say to my own kids, it's really for the privileged. We have a whole team that's coming together to help us solve our problems. Do you find that with our youth that there is a relaxed state of mind going into being able to ask for that help that they need?
I think it's amazing what you just said, right? Because it is absolutely true. The pandemic broke down a lot of those barriers, and so people are more comfortable talking about it. They are more comfortable asking for help.
The theme of TEDx Miami is Promises of Tomorrow. What is your promise for your community for tomorrow?
In terms of mental health,
Yes.
I believe that the promise for our community is that we all need to take care of each other. I think we really need to kind of get back to some of those old values and old ways of, when you see somebody and you're 10 feet away from them, say hello to them. And when you're 6 feet away from them, say, how are you? And just build that sense of community. If we can do that, we can solve the majority of our mental health crises